Hello, how's everybody doing today? I'm doing good. Real-time video today. I've got some exciting things for you guys. Or, yeah, they can be considered things. Because we can make many of these things. I don't know how many we're going to make on this video. I might make 1, 2, I'm not sure. We'll see how long this video goes. As a matter of fact, I might want to keep the time up. Well, I can't do it that way. Let's just keep the time up like that so I can see how long we've been going for. Although, I know you guys love the long videos and the talk-throughs. Anyways. Let me gather my thoughts, because today is one of those days where I just said, just sit down and turn on the camera and let's just do this. Because it's been a while since I've actually done a sit-down live talk to the camera while I'm creating here. Whew, out of breath, girls, ladies, gentlemen, kids of all ages. No clue what my problem is. Anyways, after this video I'm going to upload one more video, which the video I'm speaking about is going to be a Happy Mail from Lisa. Lisa is from Ohio. I hope I got that right. Let me turn around and look. I have her address here. Ohio, yes. Lisa Beard. She sent me. Okay. You guys remember, I did the boho beads, and then I did the boho beads connected to tassels by ripping up fabric and making the fabric look like sari ribbon. Because I don't have sari ribbon, I've learned to make my own sari ribbon. I'm not going to go into the history of sari ribbon. I apologize for that. I got so much heat on that video because I didn't know the history. And I thought I did. I kind of knew some of it, but there was just too many people who corrected me in a very aggressive way. There was some that did it nicely, but most of them were aggressive. Not to say that that video got bad comments. I'm not saying that. Not at all. Don't get me twisted, please. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that I will not give the history of sari ribbon. If you can do me a favor, and if you would like to do yourself a favor and educate yourself, look up sari ribbon and the meaning and where it came from. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so in that video I put two things together. Many people on YouTube have given me credit for that, for those boho beads and boho tassels and blah blah blah. So back in the day, just to give you a little background, is Lisa sent me a Happy Mail out of nowhere, random act of kindness, right? A care package, as Elizabeth would say, Elizabeth Brewer here on YouTube. A care package, Happy Mail, whatever you want to call it. Beautiful, beautiful, if you want to take a look at that. And then I sent her back a package, and it had my tassels in them, and then she created her own tassels, and then she added, and I'm clapping back in a good way, in an amazing way, in excitement, because you can't see my face, and you can see the excitement in my hands. You can probably see it right there. And where's the other one? Oh, lady, here we are. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cover them. She added her own twist to these, so I find that amazing and inspiring, and it brought me so much joy, and I want to share it with you guys. I have her permission, and so she she did a twist on my tassels, did her own thing, and she tugged at my heart because I love Dia de los Muertos, which is Day of the Dead. I love everything about it. I love the Latin culture, Mexican culture. I love Sacred Hearts. I like saint statues. I love all that stuff. I love crosses. I love all that stuff. Although I am not from an organized religion, I just do me, and I'm not even going to go into that one either. I love a lot of things. That doesn't mean that I follow or don't follow. That's my personal preference. Okay. Let's see. Let me show you guys what she did. She recycled, upcycled clothing. Don't know what it is. Shirt, t-shirt, pants. I don't know. But look what she did. She did Dia de los Muertos, a Day of the Dead tassel. She gave it arms. She gave it a bouquet. She even gave her some jewelry, which I will call a choker. And here's our skull, and it's all together. Oh, dear, dear, dear. I seen that and I was like, that's it, we're done. We're done. She made it everything. Okay, there's one. And here's the other one. Oh, did that one have a crown? Okay, that one doesn't have a crown. This one has a crown. Look at this. Do you guys see that? Yes. All day, every day, any day. Little arms. No necklace, but you know that's amazing, with or without. As a matter of fact, you could probably do a boy and a girl. Or two girls, or two boys, whatever you like. This one, instead of putting that piece down here, she put it up there, and now that I look at that, I wish I had the big ones and the small ones. I only have the small ones. That would go on the neck. Anyways, even on the crown, or both, I don't know. Then she got a flower bead and turned it into a crown, and then a bead down there. We're going to try to recreate these. Not exact, because nobody's art is exact, and I wouldn't want to be. And I'm glad Lisa did this, because her just thinking out of the box did amazing things. These are going to be in my living room, hanging out of the sun, because I don't want them to get sun damage. But these can be bridesmaids gifts. These are amazing. These are amazing. So that will be this is the intro to what we'll be creating in the next video. That's the way I'm doing it this time. And so I'll catch you in a little bit. So if you're ready to make these with me and listen to me chitter chatter, talk, then go on to the next video. So this will be called Intro to Dia de los Muertos tassel beads. But before I start that video, I'm going to tell you the things that I'm going to use, some things I may use, may not use, just in case you want to be prepared. Floral wire, 26 gauge or whatever gauge you prefer, okay? There's no rhyme or reason. You do you. You do it however you want, okay? The wire that comes, I know here in California we have wire at the grocery store that hold the romaine lettuce together. That one's thick enough too. If you have that, go grab it from your vegetables. You'll need some skulls. This came in Happy Mail. I'm thankful it came in Happy Mail. These I had. These little tiny ones. Let me get you in a little further. Much smaller than this big one. And these are much smaller than the ones that Lisa used. Okay? And if you don't have the skulls, that's okay. If you have these that are lamp work, that's a cat. You can use owls if you have the owls, although the owls I don't think would have arms. But do arms if you would like to do arms. A cat with arms. Okay? And a skirt and all of that. It would be very whimsical to do a cat with arms and a tassel dress. So those are options there. Any kind of head that you would like. Okay? Yeah, it would be very whimsical to do arms on a cat. That would be perfectly fine. Well, cats have paws, right? So we'll figure that out when we get there. You can also use these little heads that are made out of wood. And if you have the blank ones, you can paint your little face if you like. I've done that. And then you're going to, if you would like, you can gather some flowers, either these flowers here. I know a lot of people have those. Or glass bead flowers, which I have a few here. You can go back into my very first video where I did the nail polish flowers. Now there are 4 videos on the nail polish flower. One that's straightforward, one that's really, really long. Whichever one you guys like. You can grab some filigrees, and I'll have links down below to my store on Amazon where I'll put all many art supplies that I use, and I'll put these in there too so you guys can find them easily. These filigrees can be either connected here on the waist, they could be hung from the tassel, they could be turned into the crown, or they can be used in the bouquet. So here's a fairly big one. This, I say, is probably half of my pinky. Okay. You're going to need some beads or a bunch of little seed beads if you like to cover the wire on the arm. This one is not covered. I love that. You can do that. This one is covered with these beads that I think are bamboo. They're not real bamboo, but they resemble a bamboo, but they are metal. What I'm going to use are these long beads. Those are glass. These are glass, and they came off of a pair of earrings. And these are wood, and those came off a necklace. We can use these here. I'm not sure right now at this time what the name of these are. Oh, spacers. I'm glad I remembered. Some crystal spacers. I'll try to find the links to all of these things. Like I mentioned, filigrees. We can bend this upwards and make a crown. We could put this around the waist. We can do many things. You can cut these in half and make yourself some wings. Grab random things. These are from, I don't know. I have no clue. When I had a thrift store, we had a lot of these rings donated, and I still have them. I could possibly use this around the waist. We can use this as a crown. Let's see. I could probably manipulate it and cut it and squeeze it, and we can use that as a crown. Random things that I've pulled out. These are vintage little flowers. That could be used as a crown. Yes, it can, even on the cat. Cat with the crown. That would be too big for that one. We can use this as a crown, definitely. Or it can be a silly, drunken skull guy, Day of the Dead guy. Or it can be part of the bouquet, or it can go around the waist. Use your imagination. This random bead I don't know if we'll use. I just have it because I love the look of it, just in case. You can get some charms to hang from the bouquet. If you wanted to hang some little tassels from the bouquet, meaning where the arms go, you can add some chain and add yourself a bunch of little charms hanging from the bouquet. I have some gears here. This can be the choker, the necklace, in the bouquet. It could be part of a lot of things on the Day of the Dead. Boho Tassels. Could be part of a lot of things. And as a matter of fact, let me write this down before I forget, because I just said it now and I'm gonna forget. The tutorial on this will be called Day of the Dead Boho Tassels. That's what they are. Yeah. Okay. I also have this random piece. This came off of a really cheapy bead. It was supposed to be a crystal. It was not a crystal. It was plastic, and it just slipped right off. This can be a long crown for royalty. You see that? It can be a, what are those called? A corset. I think yes. What else? Some random gears. Again, use them where you like. Some random charms. Use them where you like. I'm not sure, but I've given you some ideas. This piece here goes to a necklace or a bracelet, and they're filigrees, and they're tiny. But I can bend this if I would like to bend it or glue it, and I think I am. I'm going to put it in front of the skull like that. It's going to have a, what is that called? A boho looking crown. We can glue these butterflies to the sides of the head all the way around, or every other spot, and put a dry flower in between. That's going to look nice. Yes, ma'am. I have these bat filigrees. I'll try to leave a link down below, and that can be the wings of the Day of the Dead boho tassel. That's going to be badass. I need water. Now that I mentioned about, I got high stress level. That's why I'm breathing the way I'm breathing. Now that I mentioned that we can do Day of the Dead boho crown, I'm going to pull out some more of these butterflies because I think that looked really nice. This here can be hung, well, first of all, this can be used anywhere. But this, to me, and what I'm thinking of doing is possibly doing something like a look of a saint and putting it in, gluing it to the back. Don't know yet. If you like, you can even glue it to the front and it'll look like a pope. Oh my goodness, I didn't notice that or realize that till now. You can also pull out some flatbacks and glue flatbacks to the head. You can glue the flatbacks down the fabric of the Boho Day of the Dead tassel. I'll pull a few of those out for myself. These I happened to find while I was cleaning my daughter's space today. She had these on the floor, so she probably would have just swept them up and thrown them away. So I'm glad I swept up today and mopped because I found those. These are charms. These, if you like, if you really like, you can put them in the back of the head. Like that. You can put them on the sides. Although they're facing the wrong way, so I'm not sure if you can do that or not. You do you, though. Anyways, but they can be definitely wings. And since we have these here from Lisa, actually, they would be wrong, wouldn't they? They're facing the wrong way. How would I make them face the right way? You can't. Let's see. Unless we put them upwards. Let's see. No, they're facing the wrong way. But if you don't mind, use them. Yeah, I would like them to face the right way, but you can't. Or I can't. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Okay, so that's a no-go, but the bats are definite yes. These can be hung from the bouquet. It's just a little bird in the cage. And then you have dragonfly. You can cut, if you have these as charms, you can cut off the jump ring part, the part that's connected. You can cut that off. And that can also be glued to the head if you like, anywhere. What else do I have here? Oh, I do have one of the fabric flowers. I have this here that is plastic. Came off a kid's toy, I'm assuming. It's like a little bee, right? That can be glued to the back if you like. And that can become some wings there. I have this really expensive ring here. It's so expensive that you can actually size it. And this can be used even in the back. Let's see, you take it apart and use it as in the back like one of those fancy dresses. You can use it on the waist. However you like. Be whimsical. Think out of the box. Oh, here's that one other fancy ring that I have on a video that I shared with you guys. Really expensive. So expensive that you can size it. Oh my goodness. So anyways, you can get this fancy ring and break it apart and use that as wings. You can face it this way, or you can face it the opposite way. Either way, they look really cool. If you have butterfly rings from the dollar store, or really expensive ones, break your rings and use them in the back. Use them however you like. Those are just a few ideas. You're going to need flat back pliers with a spring or without, whatever you got. These have a spring. You're going to use need some wire cutters and round nose pliers. Some scissors to cut up your tassels. You can go back and watch that video where we did hundreds and hundreds of tassels out of clothing from the thrift stores. And if you like, pull out yourself some filigrees. Pull yourself out some filigrees. Another thing you can use are these cheapy rings from the dollar store. These can become wings. They can go in the back. Excuse me. You can glue them. Oh, you might need a glue gun or some kind of whatever glue you like. They can be used as wings too. Or it can be a Day of the Dead spider, lady, guy, girl, whatever you like. You can cut off these rings from the dollar store. I just got myself the mixed pack because they were mixed and it was $1 instead of buying a bunch of different ones. And that can also be the wings. Oh, that looks really nice. Or you can put it on the top of the head, in the back of the head, whichever way you like. Let me think what else you guys might need. And like I mentioned, hot glue gun, or what is that stuff that Stacy uses? Tacky glue, I think it's called. Tacky glue? No, it can't be called tacky glue. It's something else from Aleene's. I forgot already. A lot of you guys know exactly what it's called. But it's really one of those glues that work really quick. I'm trying to remember. Fabro-Tac or something like that. Fabro-Tac? I'm not sure. I never owned any, so I don't know. I heard that I don't know if it's the same as this stuff, but there's something called glass glue? Glossy glue? No, this is glossy glue. Glass glue. I'm not sure. I seen somebody the other day use it and she said it dried really quick. I'm not experienced in it. I'm just giving you guys ideas. Go through your stuff. See what you have. Have a blast. Think out of the box, and join me. Let me make sure. Oh, I have some a blouse here that we're going to rip apart, and I have, what is this? This is my wipe up cloth. We're going to rip that apart. We're going to make tassels out of that. What else do you need? Some scissors. I don't know. Gather the things that you think you might need and come back and join me, and we'll chit chat and we'll create. Not sure how many we'll create, but we'll create together, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. And now that we all came up with a name together, they're going to be called Dia de los Muertos Boho Tassels. Thank you, Lisa. Oh, now that I'm searching around my table with my eyeballs, if you guys have those fancy die cut plate machines, I don't know, I think you need the machine. You need the machine to do the die cut. I don't know. Or if you have those punches, hand punches, and you have butterfly punch, you can get some playing cards or any fancy paper with roses, with whatever pattern you like. You can glue those there. Yes, all day. What else? What else? I'm just trying to think so that when you come back and create with me, if you would like, if you would like, let's see. I'm trying to think what else. You guys can leave me down below comments of what else I could possibly use. Some lace for the tassel part. You could bunch up some lace, like do a running stitch, gather it, and make yourself a lace crown using that stiffener stuff that a lot of people have. What else? I'm looking around. You can make yourself some molds. If you have the mold of butterfly wings, I see that I have one made in here. Where is it? I see it. I see it. Oh, I see something else too. You can fill up your mold with a glue gun. You can tint your glue gun if you like, or just leave them white and paint them after. Those would make some wings. Let's see. Let's move all of that out. And let's bring you in some. Use it how you like. Let's see, can I bring that up to you guys? Yeah. You see? That could be some wings. Turn it whichever way you like. Right? Also, I have in my jar of tricks these things that hold your tags when you buy clothing. You can get this, because I do keep these, because I love using these up in my mixed media canvases. I just love using them on my ATCs and things like that. But you can grab this, you can heat it up with the heat gun and flatten it, or leave it as is and get yourself your glue, and you can do a what is that called, a crown around the head like that. Or, and I'm just thinking while we're talking, just to give you guys ideas. I'm gonna have to hold it sideways. You can wrap it, you know, around as many times as you like and create yourself a crown. Now you would take your time and do this. Or you can get, if you have the pearl trim, you can make yourself a crown with that. And let's see. You can hand cut yourself some wings out of playing cards. I've done that for years. Like I said, you can double this, or if you have a thinner one, I'll double mine. Do a running stitch. Make yourself a crown. I don't even think you have to use fabric stiffener. You can just do that and make yourself a crown fit for the head. of any princess or queen. Day of the Dead. Let's see what else is in here. If you don't have filigrees, you might have these beads hanging from some of your jewelry. I try to... Oh, is that chocolate underneath my nails? Might be. Yum, I'll eat that later. If you have these beads that hang from some of your jewelry that you don't like, or you don't mind taking apart and recreating from it, these are filigrees. Just take it apart, open it up. It's a filigree, and you can use that as a crown. I'm just looking in my junk here, which is not junk, in my opinion. Ooh, if you have yourself a stamp, a butterfly stamp, stamp it out on a pretty piece of paper, cut around it, and you got yourself some wings. I don't see anything else in here that we can use. Well, there's chain in here we can use. Oh, let's think. What else? Ooh, these here. Let's see, let me put all this here. I have a few of them. They came off of the Happy Mail I got from Deborah Mayo. Those mermaid watercolors. This can be used around the waist or as a crown. And you can shape it if you like. Because it's plastic resin, you can heat it up and shape it with tools. I probably won't do that right now. See, I have a few of those. Let me think. Let's see. What can this be used as? I mean, it could be turned into a cross if you like. She could be carrying a cross. And what is this? This is from a manila folder. Before tossing them in the trash after I've used them a million times, sending Happy Mail or a card or whatever it is, I rip these off. I always rip them off. I've always have ripped them off, and I always do because I love using them on ATCs. I love using them in things like this. You can embellish this and turn it into a cross and put your flat backs all the way down if you would like to do that. What else? I have another idea, but I'm not sure if it'll work out. Let's think. If you wanted to. No, I'm not going to even do that one right now. As a matter of fact, no, I won't do that one right now. Those are all the ideas I have. My computer shut off, so I don't know how long we've been here. So let's see.
But get prepared and...
that's not supposed to go. Let's see. We've been going for almost 40 minutes. Can you believe that? I think. I may be wrong. Anyways, let's stop here. Gather your stuff. Come back. I'll put them in a playlist called Boho Beads. And they'll also be in the playlist called DIY. So, we'll see. I'll let you know. And I'll leave down below links to where you guys can purchase these items. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for spending some time with me. I hope I inspire you. Gather your things and let's get creative. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.